Most people shopping for a used SUV right now are paying $3,000 to $6,000 more than they have to. Not because the cars they're buying are better, because of brand names on the grille and YouTube comments written by people who've never turned a wrench. I've got 20 years of lift time under these trucks. I've seen what lasts. I've seen what doesn't. And the gap between what the internet tells you to buy and what I'd actually put my own family in, that gap is bigger than ever right now. The car at number 1 on this list? I had a dealership service manager tell me I was wrong about it. Face to face, in a parking lot. His customer called me 8 months later, right after a $4,800 repair bill. Stay with me. You'll want to know which one it was. Entry number 5. Ford Escape 2.5 LFW, 2015 to 2018. Every time I say, reliable Ford Escape, someone in the comments loses their mind. And here's the thing, they're half right. The EcoBoost Escape is a problem. I've seen coolant intrusion failures. I've pulled apart 1.5L engines with cylinders full of water. The repair runs $4,000 to $8,000. No warning lights. Just a dead engine. But that's not the car I'm talking about. The 2.5L Duratec, naturally aspirated, no turbocharger. That's a completely different engine sitting in the same body. Port injected. Timing chain, not a belt. Iron-lined block. I've seen these go 250,000 miles without touching anything more serious than brakes and a water pump. Here's your decoder ring. S trim always gets the 2.5L. SE trim gets the 2.5L through 2016, then switches to EcoBoost in 2017. Titanium and skip them. EcoBoost only. One landmine. If you buy AWD instead of FWD, there's a power transfer unit. A small gearbox that holds about a pint of fluid. Ford called it a lifetime fill. It's not. It sludges out between 60,000 and 100,000 miles. Replacement, $1,500 to $2,500. The fluid change itself is $50 and takes 20 minutes. Buy FWD, sidestep the whole problem. 6-speed automatic, drain and fill every 30,000 miles. Not the 150,000 Ford says. I've rebuilt too many of these to trust that spec. Skip maintenance on the transmission, $2,000 to $5,000 rebuilt. Buy a neglected AWD unit with a blown PTU, another $2,500 minimum. A 2.5L FWD with the services done? $447 average annual repair cost. That's it. When you pull up a listing, check the VIN on NHTSA.gov. Confirm the shift cable bushing recall, 22S43, is completed. That's free. Then verify the engine code. If it says 2.5L, you're looking at the right car. Who should buy it? Your budget is tight, you commute, and you'll maintain it properly. Realistic price is $10,000 to $13,000 for a 2017 S with 70k miles. Who should walk away? You want a WD and you're not willing to do the PTU fluid. And anyone who sees an EcoBoost equipped SE at the same price and thinks it's a better deal. The most underpriced SUV on this list, by a wide margin. Dealers don't advertise the 2.5L because the EcoBoost sounds more impressive. Use that against them. That was the sleeper pick. Now let's talk about a car that has the best used market powertrain warranty in America, and almost nobody knows it exists. Entry number 4, Kia Sportage 2.4 LNA, 2017 to 2019. Kia's 2.4L Theta 2 engine had a rod bearing failure problem. It made headlines. It scared buyers off the whole brand. Here's what those headlines didn't tell you. Kia settled a class action and offered lifetime short block coverage on vehicles that completed the KSDS software update by August 2021. Transferable to second owners. I'll say that again. Lifetime engine coverage. Transfers with the car. On a used SUV you can buy it for $10,000. 2019 Kia Sportage EX with the 2.4 LNA and 6-speed automatic. Confirmed KSDS update on Carfax or dealer records. You have just bought the best powertrain warranty in the used market. No dealer is going to tell you that. What you absolutely do not buy, the 2.0 TSX trim. Turbo engine, ceramic spark plugs, plugs break apart during removal, pieces drop into the cylinder. I've seen it. The repair is $3,000 minimum and that's if you're lucky. 40,000 mile plug intervals on that engine. It's not worth it. Your pre-purchase checklist. Cold start the engine. Listen for rod knock. It'll sound like a pencil tapping on a table. Pull the dipstick. Milky oil or fuel smell means walk away. Verify recalls SC206 and SC249 are completed. Both free. Damage without KSDS documentation. Rod bearing failure runs $4,800 for a used engine swap, up to $12,000 at a dealer. With KSDS documented, 0. Kia covers it. My verdict. Done right, this car gives you more equipment than a same-priced RAV4 LE with better warranty coverage than a certified pre-owned. Done wrong. Without KSDS verification, it's a grenade. Do the homework. Those first two are the value plays. The next three are where it gets interesting, because they're not brands you'd expect to see on a mechanic's personal recommendation list. Number 3 is going to surprise you. If this kind of straight talk is useful, hit subscribe. I've got more coming that dealerships definitely don't want you to see. Entry number 3, Mitsubishi Outlander Sport 2.4L, 2017 to 2018. Mitsubishi has half the dealer footprint it had 20 years ago. Most buyers assume the brand is halfway out the door. That fear is your opportunity. The 2.4L 4B12 engine in the 2017 to 2018 Outlander Sport is a timing chain motor with a conventional architecture. I've had these on the lift with 180,000 miles, and the engine looks like it was installed last Tuesday. The problem isn't the engine. It's the CVT. Mitsubishi's Jatco CVT can and does reach 200,000 miles, but only if you change the fluid every 30,000 miles with the correct Diaqueen CVT J4 fluid. Neglect it and you're looking at $5,000 to $9,000 for a replacement unit between 90,000 and 130,000 miles. There's also an inline paper filter at the cooler inlet that virtually no shop knows about. Replace it at 60,000 miles. Your shop will look at you like you have 3 heads. Show them the service manual. The recall you must verify, SR 22-004. Affects 2019 to 2022 Outlander Sports with a CVT control unit bug that could allow the engine to over-rev and strike pistons against exhaust valves at highway speed. That's a destroyed engine at 65 miles per hour. The fix is free. Confirm it's done. Neglected CVT replacement, up to $11,000 dealer, $5,500 independent. Maintained CVT, $447 average annual cost. Same car, different outcome. Mitsubishi CPO certification reinstates the full 10-year per 100,000 mile powertrain warranty from the original in-service date. For a car you can find at $12,000 to $15,000, that's a remarkable backstop. Non-CPO second owners only get the remaining 5-year per $60K. Check the certification status before you buy. Brand stigma is doing all the work here. The mechanical case is solid. The CVT fluid change is the whole game. Entry number 2, Mazda CX-5 2.5L, 2016 to 2018. RepairPal has ranked the CX-5 first out of 26 midsize SUVs for reliability. Average annual repair cost, $447. The class average is $521. That's not a marketing copy. That's aggregated real-world shop data. Here's why I keep seeing these come back with 200,000 miles and no major work. Naturally aspirated 2.5L, 6-speed conventional automatic, timing chain instead of a belt. No turbo to fail. No belt service to miss. The transmission is an Aisin unit, same family you'll find in Toyotas and Lexuses. I'm not replacing these transmissions. I'm changing the fluid. I had a 2017 CX-5 touring on my lift last month. 148,000 miles. Original engine, original transmission. The owner came in for rear calipers. They'd seized, which is the one thing these cars do between 40,000 and 70,000 miles. $420 parts and labor. That's it. That's the story. What Mazda tells you is lifetime transmission fluid. What I tell you is drain and fill every 60,000 miles with Mazda ATF FC. Coolant is FL22. Do not mix it with conventional green coolant. It will gel. First change is 120,000 miles or 10 years. Spark plugs at 75,000 miles, about $300 at an independent shop. Dollar damage, rear caliper seize, $300 to $500 per side. Water pump at 100,000 to 150,000 miles, $400 to $725. That's the worst case maintenance scenario on a healthy one. Compare that to the EcoBoost coolant job at $6,500 or a Sportage rod bearing at $8,000. Drop a comment if you own a CX-5 and want to tell me your mileage. I want to see the numbers people are hitting in the real world. Who should buy this? You want the cleanest used market reliability story under $20,000, no asterisks, no decoder rings. A 2018 CX-5 Grand Touring AWD is $15,000 to $18,000 with 80k miles. A comparable RAV4 is $3,000 more for identical mechanical outcomes. Who should walk away? You want the latest infotainment. You need 3-row seating. You're financing for 60 months and planning to trade in 3 years. The reliability advantage doesn't pay out on your timeline. This is the mechanic's quiet pick. No drama. No lottery. Just a car that does what it's supposed to do every time. Entry number 1. Toyota 4Runner 4th Gen V6, 2006 to 2009. I told a dealership service manager that a 2007 4Runner with 200,000 miles on it was a smarter buy than the certified pre-owned 5th Gen he was trying to put his customer in. He laughed. Told me I was talking about an old truck with dated tech. 8 months later, the customer called me. New to her CPO 5th Gen $4,800 in suspension work the certified inspection missed. I reminded her what I said in that parking lot. The 4th Gen 4Runner is the forgotten Toyota. Everyone chases the 5th Gen because it looks newer. Meanwhile, 2006 through 2009 examples with the 4.0 L1GR FEV6 are sitting on lots for $13,000 to $19,000 with 150,000 miles, on a drivetrain that I have watched go to 400,000 miles without engine work. The 1GR FE is a timing chain motor. It shares architecture with the Land Cruiser's V6. Toyota's 5-speed Aisin automatic behind it is one of the most proven transmissions the brand has ever built. I almost never rebuild these. I change the fluid, which Toyota calls lifetime, and I call change it every 60,000 miles before you do something you regret. There are 2 things you need to know before you buy one. First, the V8 models in this generation use a timing belt that's due every 90,000 miles. It's an interference engine. Miss that service and you're buying a new engine. A proper belt job with tensioners, idlers, water pump, and seals is $800 to $1,400 at a Toyota specialist. Non-negotiable. Second, frame rust. In rust belt states, anywhere salt hits the roads, inspect the frame. Not with your eyes. With a screwdriver. Poke it. Soft spots mean patching at $1,500 to $4,000, or a full frame swap at $7,000 to $10,000. If you're in the South or Southwest, this is a non-issue. Buy your rust-free 4Runner from a warm state if you can. Timing belt service on V8, done right. $900 to $1,400. Front struts at 120,000 miles. $600 to $900. Secondary air pump on V8 if it fails. Up to $3,500 at a dealer, $400 bypass kit from an enthusiast supplier. V6 doesn't have this problem. Before I show you the number 1 takeaway, drop your guess below. What mileage do you think a well-maintained 2007 4Runner V6 hits before the engine needs work? Documented forum examples: 381,000 miles. 430,000. One guy in Texas hit 511,500 on the original 1GR FE. The truck outlived 2 of his other vehicles and 1 set of in-laws. Who should buy this? You're keeping it 300,000 miles. You tow occasionally. You want a proven platform with real parts availability and a global enthusiast community. Budget is $13,000 to $19,000. Who should walk away? You want modern tech, fuel economy, or a panoramic sunroof? The 4th Gen doesn't offer those things. It offers something better. It offers to still be running in 2035. The 5th Gen gets the hype. The 4th Gen gets the mileage. And right now, that price gap is $6,000 minimum. Take it. 5 SUVs. 5 decisions you can make smarter than 90% of buyers walking onto a lot this weekend. The Escape 2.5L if your budget is tight. The Sportage if you can verify KSDS. The Outlander Sport if you want CPO warranty coverage. The CX-5 if you want clean and simple. The 4Runner if you want something your grandkids can drive. Every single one of them is cheaper than a RAV4 with no mechanical reason to be. The next time a salesman tells you a car is reliable, you know what to ask. Which engine? What transmission? What does the fluid change interval actually say versus what the manufacturer printed in the manual? That's 20 years of shop experience. Like, subscribe and share with your loved ones going on to the dealer lot this weekend. Take it or leave it. I'll see you in the next one.